How about Chickamauga? You retreated there, sure enough. Hell, we chased your hides all the way back to Chattanooga.
Franklin's pull-type players are pushing history.
They took my boy there, my Rooney. I didn't think I'd see him again either.
The show is called Incident at Fort Granger, a live presentation, 150 years in the making.
And in June of 1863, two Union officers came to visit the fort, said they were there on an inspection duty, and sat down and had drinks and had a lot of fun with the Colonel Baird. And then he sent them on their way to Nashville. And one of the colonels, Colonel Van Vleck, was kind of suspicious of him, and also the character that Jerry Sharber plays. They were suspicious of him, and so they talked Colonel Baird into bringing them back. They investigated and found that one of them had a sword that said CSA, so they knew they were Confederates.
Peggy McPherson, a longtime player with this community theater, is leading the charge.
This play directs itself. You see they're behind there doing it right now. One guy's even playing a different role tonight, but it's so easy to direct because we've done it over 10 times, probably 14 times in the last 15 years.
Bob Holliday was living here at the time, and he was a local historian who researched the event. After researching it all, he decided to put it into a play and wrote the play. And in talking with Peggy, of course, he had come to Pull-Type to see plays, asked if she would consider directing it, if she could get together a cast.
Handed me a script and he said, I wrote this play, would you like to do it? And I read it, it was good. It had horses in it, and I said, you can't put horses on a stage. But he said, I'll do anything you want to do. And I said, Bob, this is really not a good year for me, and I don't think I can do it, but I hope good luck with it, you know. And about a week later, he came and stood over me, stared at me, says, Peggy, what do I need to do to convince you to direct my play? And it was just the way he said it. I said, yeah, I'll do it.
Why, without you, there wouldn't have been a Franklin, a Nashville, or an Atlanta, and I wouldn't have lost this.
Vince Cusimano plays the role of the notorious Confederate General John Bell Hood.
I talked to Bob and asked him certain things about how he saw General Hood, and he suggested a couple of books, and I read those books. So I had a pretty good idea the type of man, and he's very interesting. Granted, he's not very popular here in Franklin.
Even my own brother. I begged him not to join the rebels.
Jeannie Drone is a 30-year veteran to this tight-knit group of actors.
I think I've kind of become one with Fanny. She obviously was from the South. I obviously am not from the South. But she was a Union sympathizer. So she and her mother, they acted like nurses. They weren't nurses, but they would, you know, take care of the wounded at the Courtney House. And so I think she's real spunky, and she doesn't take anything off of men, so I kind of like that about her. She tells these men, you know, the truth, the plain truth.
Duty, honor, country. You gentlemen know the words. You understand about duty, don't you? Well, don't you?
We're going to give it on June the 8th of this year, outdoors at Fort Granger.